Hey, my name is Francis Dunnery. I'm here in Bush Hall in London, and this is our final night of our tour, our electric tour. And you know, and it's been a very, very interesting electric tour.
Lord God, help me now, keep this thing alive. Surrounded by witches and demons and old lies. I found my former life.
So I go back with Laney an awful long time. Back in the 70s, my brother played guitar with Ozzy Osbourne and stuff, and there was always, you know, they were using Laneys back then. And I didn't really know much about amps. We would just plug in, and you know, we were like 11 years old or something, and you'd do it best you could. But you know, Laneys were around all the time, and I didn't really. I mean, now I understand the old Laney cabinets are killer, and the old amps and stuff. And then, you know, on and off, you would get different Laney amplifiers, you know, throughout the ages. And the last one they did, which is the Lionheart, it particularly interested me because there was no, let's say, inferior components in them. They were all English made, and they were made in England. And I went down to check them out, and I checked out the 50-watt Lionhearts, and I checked out the 20 watts. And for me, for the type of music I like, and I checked out the Tony Iommi Laneys as well, but they were a bit heavy for myself. I'm a bit, I'm not that heavy really, and so I needed something that was more subtle. And the Lionhearts, at this point of the game, hands down, and I mean hands down, that is the best. That's the best amp on the market right now. And so on the last album, on my last album, which is called Frankenstein Monster, we don't use compression because we found out that you know, it degrades. You know, plug-in compression anyway. The plugins, the digital stuff, we didn't use that. We didn't use any digital EQ, so there's no plugins on the album at all. There's no compression on it, no EQ. And it's just the pure sound of the amplifier spurting out. And I would defy anybody to come up with a more cooler sound on the guitar than that. And I don't not because it's me. Just I could play the same stuff plugged into another amp, which I did, and it just doesn't sound very good. The Lionheart, hands down, that was like 10, and the rest of them were like 4. It was quite shocking, really. So if you listen to my Frankenstein Monster album, I defy you to get a better, cooler sound than that. That's your challenge. See if you can come up with a more open-aired, you know, non-compressed, non-EQ guitar sound. Absolutely stunning sound for me. But when I'm playing live, one of the things that is important that I like to do, I don't put a lot of treble on my amps. So the treble's down to like 2 or 3. Any tone is down to 2 or 3, but I drive it with the bass, so the bass is up on 8. Something like that. I use the clean channel with the bright switch on, and that is just a tremendously cool sound. When playing live, I never face the amp out to the sound guy. The amp is always on the side, facing the side, so that I can get in the PA, which you know, the size of gigs we're doing this time is like 500 seaters, and so it makes a difference. You know, if you've got an amplifier going straight out into the crowd, you're hitting them with all that harshness, and the sound guy doesn't put you in the PA. So always have your amp on the side facing you that way, and let it go in the PA. But it's a pretty bog standard thing. I've got a few pedals. I use the rack pedal to kick that in sometimes. I use the T-Rax pedal, which is the Michelangelo pedal, which is a company from Denmark. I think that's a cool thing. And my old Boss delay, you know, just a bit of this and a bit of that, and sounds killer, dude. Sounds killer.